one of our Yemeni clients who's been detained at Guantanamo now for over 12 years without charge. His name is Ghaleb Al-Bihani. He's a man in his mid-30s now. He spent about a third of his life at Guantanamo so far. He was transferred to the prison in his early 20s, and he is now about 34 years old. Ghaleb challenged his detention. He brought a habeas petition challenging the legality of his detention the first chance that he had in 2005. His case, like hundreds of other men who were detained, was stayed for many years as litigation proceeded in the courts. In 2008, with the decision of Boumediene versus Bush by the Supreme Court, which established the right of detainees finally to be able to challenge the legality of their detention in federal court, his case moved forward. His habeas petition was ultimately denied by Judge Leon of the D.C. District Court on the basis of Mr. Al-Bihani's admission that he had been an assistant cook for a group that was aligned with the Taliban in its fight against the Northern Alliance before 9/11. There was no allegation that Mr. Al-Bihani took up arms against the United States, that had been his motive in going to Afghanistan, but his indefinite detention was sanctioned by the district court on the basis of Mr. Bihani's admission that he was a kitchen hand for this group that ultimately disbanded. So on April 8th, 2014, there will be a hearing, a government hearing, for Mr. Al-Bihani, which will determine whether he can be approved for transfer out of Guantanamo or whether his indefinite detention should continue further into a second decade. Mr. Al-Bihani has been through government reviews before. He has plenty of reason to be cynical about how this one will go and how meaningful it will be and whether it will reach the right decision to approve him for transfer. But when I met with him a few months ago, when he got notice of the fact that he was going to be reviewed, he said, you know, I have hope. I'm optimistic. And he sort of convinced me. So this is a big moment for him coming up. He will have a chance to talk directly to the government about why he should be released, what he hopes for the future, why his continued detention further into a second decade is unnecessary and unjust and should end.